Well, my name's Norman Rogerson. I'm the president of the band. I have been since 1984. I conducted it for the first few years when I came back to the UK. And since that time, I've been associated with the band.
And how long has it been in existence from its origin?
It was actually started prior to the war, but in a different format. However, during the war, it was obviously put aside. And it wasn't revived until 1962, when a local member, a player in the from the village here, Henry Fuller, started the band. His name's well known. We have a Fuller Cup for outstanding musicianship. So it was 1962 was the year.
Where do you start with a band? Do you start with a particular core number of instruments? Is it just what you've got available? How does a band start?
Yeah, well, it's a brass band, and so you've obviously got cornets, trombones. They're all brass instruments. Euphoniums, tubas. The only additional instrument is a percussion that you need for the more popular music. As you can hear now, they're playing West Side Story. And the programme for the summer will be is picked at this time of the year and rehearsed. So the programme will be played throughout the summer.
What sort of events would the band typically perform at?
A lot of fêtes during the course of the summer. The concerts. They'll play at working men's clubs, occasionally at school if the time allows. It's within the hours that they're able to do it. But it's mainly fêtes, weekend fêtes.
How do you go about recruiting for new band members?
We need to be within an area where they can actually travel to rehearsals. The band does 2 or 3 contests throughout the year. One in Surrey, one in Wychavon, in the Midlands, and there's one in Wales that they occasionally take part in. By and large, all the members are within travelling distance of the hall here.
These contests, what sort of format do they take? What would a typical contest be like?
Well, there's 2 forms of contest. There's one where they have a fixed piece which they're given. This band is in the third and fourth section. So they're all the bands throughout the area are given the same piece to rehearse. It's a little bit monotonous for the adjudicator, but they seem to do quite well, and they rehearse those pieces. The other form of contest is what they call an entertainment contest, where they can pick a 20-minute, 25-minute programme of their own choosing. What
does it mean for a village like Pangbourne to have a band like this? What can the village take away from having this sort of activity?
I think it's tremendous. I mean, it's a place where they can meet socially. They have a good social life together. They do travel. They've been to America 2 or 3 times. They've been to the continent. They've been to Germany and France. So I think it's a good social event for the band.
We can hear the level of the quality of music is fantastic. I mean, how would somebody go about joining the band? What sort of level would they need to be at, and from what age?
Well, they can start as a raw beginner. They have a beginner's band as well, which rehearses half an hour before the full band at 8 o'clock. So between sort of 7:30ish and 8 o'clock, there is a rehearsal for the starter band. And they're also invited to stay on and sit next to better players. And in the course of time, they become those players.
So there's a definite level of progression starting from that and seeing what you can go on to become, and you can be part of the band for as long as you're able and willing to play, I presume.
Well, yeah, the band would obviously like to keep the players as long as they can. Obviously, there are sort of family situations where they're not able to come in on them. It's not compulsory, of course, but they do attend very well on a regular basis.
And if any of our scouts or explorer scouts who are particularly musical aspire to be part of the band, what sort of advice would you give them to start on that journey?
Well, I would suggest they come on a Wednesday evening. If they arrive sometime after 7, if they've got their own instrument, fine. If they haven't, we can normally provide an instrument for them, which they can take home as well. And rehearse independently and more practice on it until they improve enough to play in the senior band.
How many members are there in total currently?
At the moment, there's about 25, with a further half a dozen or more, half a dozen to 10 starter players, learners.
There are instruments that are particularly popular.
People sort of like to go to start on with a trumpet or cornet, of course. Trombone is quite a difficult instrument to play, but we do have some learners, and we've got people that can teach them as well. So euphonium, bass, which is quite a heavy instrument, the bass tuba. So that would normally go to somebody that's capable of lifting it and carrying it.
So tell me more about what is going on this evening at this rehearsal. What kind of music are they playing and for what event?
This evening they're rehearsing for the summer programs. They've got a number of programs throughout the summer, events where they're playing. So they rehearse a program up to about 2 hours, 2 hours of music. They don't play it all on every concert, but at the moment they're playing West Side Story, or rehearsing West Side Story. And that's one of the pieces that is selected at the beginning of the year for the whole season.
This is more than just a band. This is a community of people that come together regularly, compete, contest, and socialise.
Absolutely. And we're very proud to be associated with Pangbourne. And although we have people coming from other areas, the majority do come from Pangbourne. And, we obviously like to feel that we're supporting Pangbourne as Pangbourne are supporting us.
What would you say are the highlights of the band over the years? Are there any standout moments that stick in the memory for you personally or for the band overall?
Well, obviously, the tours obviously stand out. The band had formed a partnership with a band in America, in Michigan, and they've been across there twice. The band from Michigan have been over here. In fact, they came over last summer, and we toured the South Coast for about a week, playing combined concerts, which was very enjoyable. They've been to Germany 2 or 3 times, France. Pangbourne has a relationship with a town in France, and because of that, we've had a few engagements over there as well.
The experiences the bands go through over in the States or in France, is it a similar setup to here, or are there any cultural differences?
Well, the band in the States was formed because of a member was over here working in the UK, and he joined this band. After his 3 or 4 years in the UK, he went back and formed the brass band along the same lines as the one here.
Well, so it's really having a global impact just from the origins of Pangbourne.
Absolutely, and the relationship has carried on. It's getting stronger. The band are planning a trip next year to the States, so obviously any new members coming would qualify to go on the tour there.
Well, this is going out during our fundraising weekend, our radio show, Thre3-6 Radio. Many of our explorers play instruments and will be interested in this, so we'll pass on your advice and encourage them to come along on a Wednesday.
They're very welcome to come anytime they're free on a Wednesday night, even just to come and listen to the band. The doors are open. The band would appreciate seeing them, and they can talk to members of the band, and if they haven't actually picked out an instrument themselves, they can decide which one they'd like to learn, and the band do have a number of people there that can teach them. It's the village band. It's the Pangbourne Band. It belongs to the village, and I believe it'd be great if we saw more people. Anybody would be very welcome to come and listen to rehearsals. We do get 1 or 2 people just walking in the doors on a Wednesday evening, and they're welcome. But we can obviously do with more, a few more people, and a lot more interest. There are some people in the village that don't even know there is a band. And that's a shame, really, because a band, throughout history, has always been an integral part of village life.
Are there any ways that people could get involved in the band, even if they don't play an instrument, whether it's behind the scenes organising things or helping to promote what you're doing? Yeah,
we're always looking for members that perhaps don't play, as you say. There could be members on the committee helping to organise social events for the band. It has a social life as well. Yes, so there are opportunities there.
How can people find out more about the band? Is there a website?
Yes, the website is being produced at the moment, revitalised at the moment. But there are things on the website that you can actually look up on the band. It tells you a bit about the history, the list of the names of the members, photographs of the band. But as I say, anybody can walk in on a Wednesday evening and they'd be very welcome.
What is your instrument of choice?
My instrument, I started a long time ago. I started on the trumpet and cornet. Yes, I was in an army band for a long time. I joined in 1957.
But I guess there's no real difference with what you played back then to what people are playing today.
Well, there are, obviously. I mean, they are still playing. I mean, we played in 1960. In the 60s, we played West Side Story. That's when it first came out. And quite a lot of the arrangements nowadays the people played, 50, 60 years ago. When I was in Germany, and I eventually came and settled in the area, and that's when I joined the band in '84. Yeah.
Any temptation from your side just to kind of pick up the instrument and go in and join them on a Wednesday night?
Well, I have done it occasionally. I'm asked, to conduct it sometimes when the resident conductor happens to be away. I'm very happy to do that. Yeah.